Welcome back, guys, to my finally second ever episode of Just My 2 Cents. It seems like I've got like a couple episodes in the works, but I just haven't been able to finish up the videos as I'm continuing to research and continue to make sure I got my clips in line and whatnot before I release them into the wild. I've been trying to make sure I continue to up the quality and whatnot with my videos. So today I just wanted to do a quick little video, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little corny, it's a little cheesy per se, but really I just kind of wanted to touch on something. I just wanted to touch on something really quickly that I felt like was kind of important to me, but I felt like, more than ever, I felt like this was a good example to talk about this and bring this up. So for anybody who actually isn't a big NFL fan, one of the prominent young quarterbacks, actually quarterback that's my age, 29 years old now, Andrew Luck actually just retired spontaneously over the last weekend. So it's been about 5-ish days or so since it had happened, and really just kind of shook the NFL to the core. Now obviously players came around and gave him the respect and was like, hey, you know, we're going to miss you, you did a great job, you put your life on the line, you know, do what you got to do. And honestly, I do respect it. I think it is really weird, but at the same time, the more I thought about it, you know, I think I tweeted something about how I thought that it was a little weird that he was retiring just a couple weeks before the season, and not saying that he's not allowed to do that, just that the retirements lately have gotten kind of ridiculous in the NFL just because, like, there was one that happened last year that I don't think got nearly enough attention that it should have, where there was a cornerback, I think it was last year, there was a cornerback who was a pretty decent guy. He was a decent player. He actually was drafted and played with, I believe it was the Colts. And then he went down to Miami for a little bit, got a second revival to his career, got paid and got, you know, really good and whatnot, but was brought on by the Bills to try and help them make them kind of, you know, a playoff team potentially. And the first game that he was in, he got torched and pulled, and then like at halftime he was like, nope, I'm done, I'm retiring. And it was just like, whoa, wait, what? Not that you can't do that, it's just really freaking weird. And so Andrew went ahead and did it, and I felt like his was respectable, and I understand, you know, at the beginning, before, with mini camps coming up and the draft coming up and stuff like that, he was healthy, and like I think it was like either right before the draft or maybe it was right after the draft, he wound up, according to the reports, pulling his calf. Mini camps happened, and then training camp happened, and he wasn't healthy. He was still a scratch for this calf pull, which then had the owner, I can't remember if it was the owner or if it was the general manager, one of them was like, oh no, it's a bone problem and all this other goofy stuff, and nobody knows really what the injury is, and to be honest with you, it's not our business. But obviously it was severe enough that Andrew was like, I'm not going to be held out of practice. I'm not going to sit there and be rehabbing and spending all my time, you know, trying to get better and healthy to go play the game, to get hurt, then to get healthy again and have this in the cycle. And so he retired, and you know, he did it with tears in his eyes. He was pretty upset, you know. I mean, I know he tried to hold back a lot of stuff, but he didn't want, I don't think, the affair to be what it wound up being. Like, I know that he was going to wind up springing kind of a retirement on everybody, just kind of randomly. Maybe the people in the locker room would have known about it, but the people outside, the fans and whatnot, wouldn't know nothing about it. It just happened. But Adam Schefter, doing what he's supposed to do, it's his job as a journalist, per se. He went ahead and released that, hey, he's going to be retiring, and he'll probably retire after, you know, tonight's game, which I think was like Saturday or something like that, of last week. And sure enough, he did. But before he went ahead and went on the podium, he had I'd say about half the stadium booing him, and booing him really hard. And the Twitter sphere was a mess. Oh, it was bad. There were some people, I mean, there were a lot of people that were sticking up for him, but there were some people who were going in on him, talking about how he was soft. I guess I kind of wanted to do this video that he'll probably never see, because apparently, according to Zach Ertz, tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, he's not very good with technology, and I don't think he has any social media accounts, so he'll probably never see this, but I at least want to stand in solidarity with him and let him know that I get it, I understand, and you got to do what's best for you, dog. You know, taking care of your body, taking care of yourself is number one. I mean, you're my age. Trust me, I know about protecting and taking care of your body. I try to sit there and talk about certain things that have affected my decisions in life. And one of the big decisions, obviously, last year was to quit the job that I was at. I don't try to go into too many details about what job that was. The reason why I quit that job, there's a lot of reasons. And I'm sure I'll be able to link all kinds of different videos to them. But one of the really big top reasons for why I quit the job was because after 9 years on it, my body was broken down. My ankle felt like bone on bone. My shoulders, especially my left shoulder, was killing me. My throwing shoulder, it hurt all the time. I didn't realize just how stiff my neck was and how much it was actually contributing to the migraines I was getting on a near daily basis before I finally decided to leave. My arms and my wrists, there was actually spasms that were happening in my arms toward the end there, like the last year or so. I was falling apart, and eventually I was going to need surgery on all this stuff, and I didn't know how I was going to deal with it at 29 years old. Poor Andrew, dude has had surgeries, and to be honest with you, and there's a couple instances maybe I should have had a surgery or two, but I didn't want to, and I quit my job, and I worked on kind of trying to rehab a little bit and to let myself heal up. I've been trying to sit there and go for some more walks more recently and stuff like that. I've been trying to get out more often, and I feel a lot better. My back is still a little bit out of whack per se, but I've been even working on that too by doing certain stretches and yoga and stuff like that to try and make myself feel better. And I feel the best I've felt in probably about 6 years. And that's saying something. So I totally get it. I do. My body wasn't getting hit by 250, 300 pound players. I wasn't getting smashed around or thrown out of bounds. I did play football in high school, but it wasn't even close to this. So I totally stand in solidarity with him. But I wanted to use his leaving the game as kind of a message to the rest of you, to people that might have been closer to my shoes than they are Andrew's shoes. And that's that the other thing that Andrew did when he gave it up, obviously, was for his mental health and it's for his physical health. And he wanted to focus more on his relationship, the woman that I think he just married her last year, actually. And it's really adorable when you listen to some of the things that he talks about, some of the things that he says, how there was other even writers that were talking about how, Andrew seemed really down in that playoff loss last year to the Kansas City Chiefs, but was greeted by his wife, and he seemed to perk up. He seemed to be happier, and I'm happy for him. I'm genuinely happy for him. So he wants to focus on spending his time with her, and I don't blame him. Andrew gave up $60 million to go be happy. And that's the biggest thing. He got some money, by playing the sport that he once did love and got paid pretty good for it. But he also left on the table nearly $60 million. I think it was like $58 million and some change. To walk away early, retire, and go spend his life traveling the world and spending time with his wife. And I don't blame him for that. Now, I get that not everybody is in the same financial situation as Andrew Luck, making millions and millions of dollars playing a sport. I get it. However, I guess the biggest thing that I want to do with this video is just let you guys know that don't ever think that you need to stay in something because you're getting that quote-unquote bag, because you're getting decent money. I was getting decent money working at the job that I was working at, but it's not worth your health or your happiness. I was extremely unhappy in where I used to work at. I was tired of management screwing me around. I was tired of never being able to excel or be able to do new things in the job. I was tired of falling apart and feeling like my body was killing me, my mind was killing me, and I was fighting off everything and everyone. It took a lot, and I was scared. And there are some days I'm still scared because, I'm not going to lie, bills are a little tight compared to what they used to be. And while that does have me slightly stressed out, to be real with you, compared to everything else, from my body feeling way better, to me being emotionally more, not really stable per se, but just, I feel a lot better emotionally and, and psychologically. And I've been continuing to work on myself and getting better at cooking, doing other things, working on projects, working on my YouTube. I couldn't start my YouTube because I was working at that place 10 hours a day. Nothing like working 10 hours a day, basically spending 11 hours for your job because the shower, driving back and forth to work and the job itself. And then trying to sit there and do anything with a YouTube I was writing with the blog, but even then I was it's hard trying to sit there and, go to the office and type and do all these things when you spend so much of your day, half your day at, dealing with a job, and then trying to also do things at home, and then trying to unwind for a little bit. I wish I would have started the YouTube channel, honestly, back in 2011 or 2012, when I was working a hell of a lot less, and I still had ambitions, but I just didn't think that doing a YouTube would have ever worked out. I didn't think to sit there and invest to buy a camera back then, and I wish I would have, because maybe things would have been different now. But I'm here now, and I'm doing this now. Even though I'm not making a single dime, but I'm way happier now than I ever have been. And that's the truth. Please use Andrew's lesson to sit there and make sure that you don't wind up staying with something because you might be making pretty good money or fairly decent money. Take a little less money if it means keeping your sanity and keeping your health. Because eventually one day you're going to want to retire. Eventually one day you're going to want to, settle down. Or maybe one day you're going to want to have kids. Or one day you're going to want to have 18 dogs. Or one day you're going to want to, have a cat rescue. Or one day you're going to want to own a zoo. Or one day you're going to want to do something. One day you're going to want to travel the world. And it's going to be hard to do it when every inch of you is broken and beaten. And the job doesn't care about you that much. It just doesn't. So make sure that you're not sacrificing things that you're going to live on a lot longer with, your happiness and your sanity, for a little extra money. Try to make sure that you plan it better. Try to make sure that you don't sacrifice who you are for that, that early money now, when you could be making more money later doing something that you absolutely love and adore. It's actually kind of funny because, honestly, my dad has kind of been doing the same thing too. He's got a new job. I don't know. I haven't found out where yet. He got it toward the end of July, beginning of August, and he left the job that he previously been out for a couple of years now. I think it's been at least a couple of years. It might be a little longer than that. He quit because he was miserable, and he went and looked and got something else. And I don't know if he's making the same amount of money or not, but on the side, he's doing something he's very passionate about. He's making soap. And you know what? Everybody has something that they're really passionate about. He's passionate about soap. That's cool. I actually dig it, to be honest with you, because it makes him happy, and it's something that he's gotten really good at. And I hope I continue getting better YouTube videos out there where people actually watch him past a minute and a half. He did something though too, and I think it's funny that we both decided to kind of quit previous jobs. I think I did it a year prior, but that we both decided, hey, this isn't working out. I'm leaving. That's the main reason why I haven't really been out talking too much and finishing up some of these videos, is because I've been looking for a job to try and help out with the bills, to help pad the bank a little bit, so that way we're a little more comfortable around here. And we're getting ready to move, and we're getting ready to do all these different things too, so I've been very busy. And I finally have something. I should be starting out here any day now. I do, enjoy my life now a lot more than I did a year or two ago. Definitely 2 years ago. 2 years ago wasn't too bad, but definitely last year I was miserable. Use Andrew as an example, and if you're miserable in the job that you're in, while I understand you gotta pay your bills, you gotta do certain things, I get it, I do. I understand absolutely, but don't ever stop looking, and don't ever stop trying to get yourself out of a situation that is leaving you miserable day in and day out. It's not worth it. Life is too short for that. And please take that lesson away. Alright guys, that'll be it for me today. Like I said, this is going to be a really short video, but I just wanted to make sure that I passed that along, and and kind of make sure that you guys knew that I was still alive. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Very soon, actually. I've been working on Control, and I'll be hopefully putting out a review hopefully within the next few days, maybe right after the weekend, we'll see. And then I should be putting out a review for Blair Witch. I might be not putting one out until next week, just as an FYI, just because I'm going to be starting orientation at the new job. Plus, I know Emily's going to want to spend some time with me and stuff like that, but maybe she'll check out the game with me. We'll see. So, yeah, until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.